All right, now I'll get started. So thank you everybody for joining both online and in the studio. As I was saying, it's fun and it's exciting. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit everything. Like we were just saying, like I feel like I'm breaking the rules, but I'm not, because the rules say we can do this, but it's just so different from what we've been doing. So a lot of conflicting things going on, but above all is, you know, a lot of joy, I think. So thank you guys for sharing in that joy with us. So I don't have anything too great or wise to share with you at the beginning here. I wanted instead just take the opportunity for you to take a moment and come into your practice, into your intention for what you want to get out of this class today. Maybe it is just the joy of being in person and out and about today, or maybe it is the comfort of being in your home and the security, or maybe it's a little bit of strength and patience and just trusting your gut and what's good for you, and you know what's best for you, and what's best for me isn't what's best for you. And so just listen to yourself and, you know, understand that, you know, and find the joy in everything that we do. So wherever you are, have a nice straight spine, whether you're sitting or laying. Just start to breathe into the spine. Get lots of length here, nice and tall. Take your shoulders out to both sides and shoulder blades down onto your back. Close your eyes and just take a moment, like I said, to set an intention for today's practice. For me, some of my goals typically every day is to be positive, productive, and I forgot, I always have 3 P's, but positive and productive are the top of my list. And so I try to think of how that translates for me onto the mat and how that translates for me off of the mat. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Let go of what is not serving you. Again, big deep breath in. Exhale, let it all out. One more time, taking a breath in. Exhale, let it out. All right, gently flutter open your eyes. While we have our hands at heart center, we'll just start off with some wrist stretches. So let's take, let's see, we start off hands at heart center, take your palms out to face towards me, and then we roll our fingertips down towards the earth and up and around. And we'll just do a couple of those to loosen up the wrist. And I just did not put my phone on do not disturb. I'm so out of practice. And if you're listening to the playlist, go ahead and hit play. Okay, and then we're gonna take it the other way. So bring your hands back to heart center. For some reason, my brain doesn't always connect going the other way. So start off with your palms facing you and then take them down and around the other way. I don't know why it feels so awkward to do it the opposite way. Whatever you need to just loosen up the wrist. All right, so let's bring the hands back to heart center. Take a deep breath in and reach your arms all the way up. And just hold it here. Pull the shoulder blades down onto your back and reach up through the fingertips. Take another breath in here, and on your exhale, take your right hand down to the mat and reach your left arm over your ear. So over towards the Ganesh. Yeah, I don't mirror, so I apologize for those of you in the room. I'll always be going the opposite way of you. All right, inhale, bring it back up to center. And then let's take it over to the other side, left hand down, right arm over. And just make sure you're pulling back through the right shoulder and pressing down through the right sit bone so you're staying nice and connected. Let's inhale, bring it back up. Do it again on each side. Right hand comes down, reach the left arm over. We'll just flow with the breath. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, take it on over. And bring it back up. And hands down to heart center. Okay, so let's come down on our back. We'll do a couple of supine stretches here. So pull your knees into your chest. And then just take a couple of hip circles or rock and roll side to side, whatever you need to do to just loosen up here a little bit. And we're gonna do similar warm up to last week for those of you that were with us. So let your left leg go long, leave your right knee bent, but take it away from your chest so your calf is parallel to the earth and flex through your foot. And then we're gonna take your left hand to your left hip point and then take your right hand to that knee and just open up the right knee to the right, trying to keep the integrity of your foot flex and your calf parallel. And just take it as far over to the right as you can with that hip staying pinned down, that left hip pinned down. And so you have your hand there to remind you of that. It's kind of like tree prep, but on our backs. And then bring it back up to the center. And then take it over, again, keeping the leg right where it is, take the knee on over to the left side. And just as far over as you can with your right shoulder staying pinned down onto the earth. And then bring it back to center, and we'll switch it out. So bring your left knee up and let your right leg go long. Flex through your left foot, take that left calf parallel to the earth. And then take your right hand down to your right hip point and your left hand to that knee, and just open up the left knee out to the left side and that tree prep on this side. And then bring it back to center, and we'll switch it out, taking the twist, leaving the left shoulder blade pinned down to the earth. And then back up to center. Let's stamp both feet into the ground. So bend your knees, take your feet down to the mat, and we'll do a supine, like a figure four. So take your right ankle and stretch it over your left knee. I don't know why I'm getting my rights and lefts confused in my head. And then reach your right hand through the opening and your left hand around the outside of your left thigh. And then cool, yeah, there you go, Rick. And then flex through your left foot, flex through your right foot, to your other leg. So not the bent leg. Switch out, yeah, there you go. This is so fun having people in the class. I can actually see what you're doing and help you. And we're just getting a nice right hip stretch here. All right, let's take it on down, and we'll switch it out to the other side. So take your right foot down, cross your left ankle over your right knee, and then let's take our hand through the opening and reach around to the right thigh. Yeah, and pull it into your chest. If you want to deepen it, you can always press the knee away with your left elbow, but early on in class, we don't want to do anything too severe. All right, go ahead and take it down, and then let's cross your feet at the ankles and rock and roll up through a seated position, and we're going to come right into a downward facing dog. So swing yourselves around, take those hands down, hips up to the sky. Make sure you're taking all the pressure off of your knuckles, dragging those finger pads up towards the top of the mat. Let's do a nice mindful walk of our dog here. So come up onto the right tippy toes and bend, or I'm sorry, and straighten your left heel back down towards the earth. And then mindfully switch it out, coming up onto the left tippy toes and pressing that right heel down. Do it nice and slow again. Switch it out, bend through the right knee, press through the left ankle. And then switch it out, taking the right heel down towards the earth. And then come onto a neutral dog, taking the hips all the way up towards the sky, both hip bones up there, and then take the heels down towards the earth. All right, let's shift our weight forward, come into a plank pose and get our alignment. If you need to wiggle those toes back a little bit, go right ahead. Same thing as in downward facing dog. We're pressing through the knuckles, spreading the fingers wide. Take those shoulders out to both long sides of your mat and shoulder blades onto your back. And then let's press back up into a downward facing dog. One more time, let's shift our weight forward, coming into that plank pose. Draw up through the abs, pull the thighs up towards the sky. And then send it back up, downward facing dog. All right, let's shorten that dog. So take a couple steps in enough so that your heels can get all the way down to the earth. And then we're gonna take a side stretch here. Take your right hand and reach for your left ankle. Maybe take a look underneath the left armpit. And then we'll switch it out. Bring that right hand down to the mat and then take the left hand to the left ankle. And bring that hand down, continue your journey back all the way up to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. Let the hips draw up towards the sky, the crown of the head down towards the toes. You can put as much of a bend in your knees as you need to this early in class. Do whatever feels good here. And then we'll come up halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins, sit bones back and apart, nice flat back. And exhale, release it down. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. And release. One more time, Ardha Uttanasana and Uttanasana. This time we're gonna rise all the way up, press down through all four corners of your feet. Inhale, reach it for the sky, nice and tall. Keep on reaching. Take the shoulder blades down your back and then squeeze that imaginary beach ball as if you're holding it right over your head. Take a breath in here and take the beach ball over to the right. Inhale it back up to center and then take it on over to the left. Bring it back to center and hands down to your heart center. All right. We're gonna do some modified sun A's here. So find a nice, strong, steady Tadasana, top of the mat. So I like to start with my feet hip distance apart. Take those shins in towards each other. Take your thighs back and apart, drop through the abs. And again, just keep thinking about taking the shoulders out to the long sides of your mat and then drawing the shoulder blades down onto your back. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find a plank pose, and hold it here. Now let's come down to our forearms. Bring your right forearm down, bring your left forearm down. Hold this forearm plank. We're gonna wiggle our hips from side to side, take a hip dip to the right, and then over to the left. Again, dip it to the right, and dip it to the left. Come back, forearm plank. And then we're gonna slowly lower our pelvis all the way down and come into a Sphinx pose. So get your elbows in line underneath your shoulders. Good, fingers spread really wide. Press your toenails into the mat so much that your knees come up. And then energetically draw your elbows back towards your rib cage, pulling your heart towards the top of the mat. Awesome. All right, let's come down to our stomach. Slide your hands back for Cobra pose. So fingertips in line with your armpits. Keep on pressing through the toenails. Inhale, press up Cobra. And then exhale, release and find a downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees and look forward and exhale, journey to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold it down. Inhale, reach all the way up, leave your fingertips reaching for the sky, hold onto that beach ball, and exhale, take it to the right. Inhale it back to center, and exhale it to the left. Good, bring it back up to center, and hands down to your heart center. Is the music too loud or is it okay? I know the speaker is right over you. You okay? Okay. All right, let's take it again. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into that plank pose. Nice, strong plank. Thighs back and apart, shoulder blades on your back. This time, take your left forearm down and then your right. Keep drawing the abs up and in, really strong here, and take those hip dips. Wiggle it off to one side, come back through center, take it to the other. One more round on each side. And find a neutral forearm plank and lower that pelvis down. Coming into your Sphinx pose, again, toenails pressing down. And then drag those elbows back, pull your heart forward, shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful. Lower your stomach all the way down. Drag your fingers back in line with your armpits. When you're ready, press up Cobra pose. Good. Beautiful, Rick. Bring it on down and press up, downward facing dog. Couple more breaths here. All right, bend your knees and look forward, and on your exhale, journey to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach it for the sky. One more time, we're gonna take that beach ball over to the right side. Bring it up through center and take it to the left. And up. And hands down to your heart center. Grab a sip of water if you need it. It's gonna be a hot day today. We gotta stay hydrated. I made that mistake over the weekend. Okay. When you're ready, nice, strong, steady Tadasana at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back and hold this runner's lunge. So we're framing our right foot, right knees in line right over your ankle. Keep pressing up through the left thigh and pressing down through the hip. And then we're gonna plant our hands and then lift that right foot up and tap our right knee to the outside of our right elbow. And then send it back for a plank. Or just take it right back to a plank. And then we'll take a vinyasa here, lower down through your Chaturanga Dandasana. And then press up either Cobra or upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog.
All right, bring your right toes up, send that knee in towards your nose, and then plant your foot on the mat in between your thumbs. We're gonna come up to a high lunge, so either crawl your hands up your thigh or press through your right foot and reach your arms up. I got all wobbly there. Squeeze those legs together, scissoring in. All right, we're gonna take a revolved, a twisted reverse warrior. So let's see, we're gonna take, let's see, right knee is forward, so take your right hand down, maybe reach it back towards your left leg, and then reach your left arm behind you, reaching through the fingertips. And then bring it back up to neutral. And frame your foot coming back into that runner's lunge. And again, we're gonna do that little tricky trick going back into our plank. So press through your hands, lift your toes up, tap your right knee to the outside of your right elbow, and then send it back into your plank. All right, let's lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, sweeping into your back bend, and exhale, downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, come to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And hands to your heart center. So real quick before you go outside, what that looks like is when we're in the lunge, so we just press through, lift this up, swing it around, and then back, or just stepping it right back. All right, so let's do the other side. Inhale. And exhale. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your right foot back, hold this runner's lunge. Get a nice big stretch here through the hip flexor, pressing down evenly through both hips towards the earth. And then we're gonna plant those hands, lift up to the left toes, swing that knee around, tap the outside, and then send it back, plank. And lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. This time, bring your left toes up, bring that knee in towards your nose, hold it for a moment, and then plant your foot down in between your thumbs and find your high lunge on the other side. Left knee forward and line right over your ankle. We're on the ball of our right foot. We'll take that revolve here, so take your left hand down, maybe touching the right thigh, and then reach your right arm up and back, lifting through the fingertips. And bring it back to center, reach it up. And we'll take that little tricky trick again, frame your foot, find your runner's lunge, and then lift those left toes, tap that elbow, send it back, plank, and take your vinyasa, or just meet us in downward facing dog. Okay, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, come to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And hands down to your heart center. All right, we'll kind of build off of that foundation here. So when you're ready, take a big deep breath in. Exhale, open mouth, let it out. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, runner's lunge. Hold it here. Keep on pressing that left thigh up and back. And then plant your left hand, and we're gonna reach that right arm up to the sky, twisting your torso towards the long right side of your mat. All right, we are gonna come up into a high lunge here. Your options here are to take that right hand down to your thigh and press yourself up, or keep reaching up through the fingertips. Come onto your left fingertips. Bring those left fingertips up off of the earth and slowly revolve into an airplane, hovering over your thigh, and then reaching it up, high lunge. Take a breath in here, exhale, airplane arms. Inhale it up. One more time, exhale, lean forward, and high lunge. Beautiful. All right, spin your back foot flat, come into a warrior two pose. Right knee is in line right over your ankle. Press down through the outside edge of your back foot, and keep reaching through both fingertips. Keep all that engagement, pulling your right glute towards your left heel. Flip your right palm and reverse your warrior, pressing it towards the back of your mat. and bring it back through, warrior two. We're gonna reach those fingertips towards the top of the mat, bend your elbow, place your forearm on your thigh, reach your left arm up and bring it over your ear into a side angle pose. Nice straight line all the way from your fingertips to the back edge of your back foot. Little to no weight on your right forearm. As a matter of fact, let's bring that forearm off and reach it forward, hold that beach ball. I'm pretending like I'm at the beach today. Keep on holding that beach ball and bring it up to the sky. Keep on holding it, bring it back for reverse warrior, holding that beach ball. Bring it back to center, arms out, warrior two. Go ahead and frame your foot, come back into that runner's lunge, come onto the ball of your left foot, and we're gonna take that little toe or knee tap here. So press down through your palms, lift your right toes, tap your right knee to the outside of your elbow, and then send it back for a plank. And then take your vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, come to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down and just step your right foot back, coming back into runner's lunge, left foot forward. Take a moment here. Feel nice and strong and steady in your low half, knowing we're gonna come up to high lunge. Do what you need to do with your right foot for stability. Plant your right hand and reach your left arm up to the sky, twisting your torso to the left this time. Keep pulling up through that right thigh. And then you know your options. If you're with me, keep reaching up through the left fingertips, come onto the right fingertips, and then slowly revolve your chest over your thigh, airplaning your arms. And then reach it up, high lunge. Get your stability here, take a breath in, exhale, airplane arms, lean it forward. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward. And up. Beautiful. All right, spin the back foot flat. Warrior two, left knee forward. Pull your knee a little bit closer out. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, let's keep on pulling that left glute towards our right foot. Flip your left palm and reverse your warrior. Don't lose the bend over your ankle. And come on back through, warrior two. Reach towards the top of your mat, bend that forearm, place it on your thigh. Right arm comes up and then over the ear. Pull back through the right shoulder and press down to the outside edge of your right foot. Little to no weight on that forearm. Let's take it off your thigh and reach it forward, beach ball arms. Hold that beach ball, bring it up. Keep on holding the beach ball and bring it towards the back of your mat. Bring it forward and open up, warrior two. Windmill your hands, frame your foot, find that runner's lunge. All right, plant your hands, lift the left toes, tap the outside of your elbow and take your plank. And then take your vinyasa or press straight up into downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, come to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold it down. Inhale, let's come all the way up, and bring your hands down to your heart center. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water here if anyone else needs one. I think we're out. I was just gonna offer you guys water. I need to bring water into the studio. Okay. All right, we're gonna come into some chairs. So go ahead and toe heel your feet to touch or to almost touch. And if that doesn't feel good, stay hip distance apart. Let's get that nice, strong, steady foundation before we do anything else. To take those thighs back and apart. Draw up through the abs. Shoulder blades on your back. Take a breath in here. Exhale, bend your knees, send your fingertips down to the earth. Inhale, sweep the arms up, chair pose. All right, we're gonna take an open arm twist in our chair pose. So take a breath in here, exhale, right hand behind you, left hand forward. Keep pulling back through the left hip. And then bring it back to center and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back into that runner's lunge. All right, we're gonna do 3 rounds of lifting our left toes up for standing splits. So press down through the right foot, lift the left toes up, come to the top of your mat, standing split. Try to draw your left hip point down so it's even with your right. And then bend through the right knee, take your left toes back behind you into that runner's lunge. And we'll do it 2 more times. If you're with me, press through the right foot, lift the left toes, standing split. And then bend that knee, take the toes back, runner's lunge. 1 more time, lift up the left toes, standing split. And bend the right knee, send them back, runner's lunge. All right, we're gonna come right into warrior 2 from here. So spin your back foot flat, power up, warrior 2. All right, we are going to transition into a half moon. So take your left hand to your left hip, reach your fingertips forward, and then bring them down to the mat, top of, in front of your right toes. Crawl the hand forward, drag the left foot up, slowly lift the left foot, well, flex through the left toes. Slowly stack your left hip on top of your right. Once your hips are stacked, once your shoulder blades are stacked, go ahead and lift that left arm up to the sky. We're gonna come back into warrior 2 from here. So put a slight bend in that right leg and slowly press your foot back, trusting the mat behind you. And bend that knee right over the ankle. All right, let's straighten through the right leg, pull back through the hip. So usually when I cue triangle, I say to tick-tock your arms together. We're gonna try it a little bit different today. I learned this from a teacher trainee this weekend. So we're gonna reach towards the top of the mat, keep on reaching, and then keep that reach as you just swing that right hand down. And once you get that where it needs to go, then raise your left arm up, stacking it on top of your right. All right, we are gonna try half moon again from this side. So take your left hand to your left hip, take your gaze down towards your toes, slight bend in your right knee, drag that right hand forward, lift your left toes up, flex through the foot, engage through the standing thigh, slowly stack hips and shoulders. I do not have a half moon in me today. All right, we're gonna transition into standing splits here. Take the left hand down, raise the left foot up, standing split, and fold it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's reach it all the way up. And hands down to your heart center. All right, we'll do the other side. Get your feet set up for chair pose if you like them together or apart. Engage through the thighs and engage through the abs. Take a breath in here. Exhale, fingertips down towards the earth, bending the knees. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Take those thighs back and apart and pull up through the abs. We're gonna take that open arm twist. Take a breath in here. Exhale, right hand forward, left arm back. Pull back through the right hip. Bring it back to center. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back, runner's lunge. All right, we've got those 3 standing splits here. So press down through your left foot, raise your right toes, standing splits at the top of the mat, drawing down through the right hip so it's even with your left, and then raise the heel up. Slight bend in the left knee, step your right foot back, runner's lunge. Again, inhale, standing split. Bend through the knee, step back, runner's lunge. 1 more time, bring it on up. And step it on back. All right, spin that back foot flat, come on up, warrior 2. We'll see if we got the balance on this side. I fell out of every half moon on the other side. Let's reach the fingertips forward. I'm sorry, right hand to your hip. Reach the fingertips forward and then bring them down to the mat in front of the left toes. Lift the right toes up, get a nice big flex. Slowly stack everything and then reach that right hand up. We'll step back to warrior 2. So put a bend in your left knee, step the right foot back, warrior 2. I had it until the transition. All right, let's straighten through that front leg. Draw your right hip back. reach towards the top of the mat and keep that reach, lots and lots of length, and then sweep the left hand down, keeping all that length, and then reach the right arm up. All right, right hand down to the hip, bend through that left knee, drag the fingertips up, half moon on the other side. I guess the left side, same side we just did. And then right hand comes down, one more standing split for good measures. And bring the toes down, forward fold. Take a couple breaths here. Let's take opposite hands to opposite elbows. Let everything hang down. Let gravity draw the elbows closer towards the toes and your hips up towards the sky. All right, release the elbows, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And hands down to your heart center. All right, since we've already been playing with balance with half moon, we'll do a little bit more of it. So we're gonna do some series here. Remembering that tree opening that we did at the beginning of class, when we come onto one foot, just remember, try really hard to pull everything in towards the midline. We all have a tendency to like stick that hip out that we're leaning on. So it's a shifting of the weight, not a shifting of the hip. Easier said than done. I do it every time. All right, hands to heart center, shift the weight to your right foot, come onto your left toes and draw your left knee up. Just like earlier in class, we're gonna draw that knee all the way out to the left and then find your tree pose, whether it's kickstand, calf, or upper thigh. Finding your tree pose, just not on your knee. Keep pulling back through the right hip. All right, let's leave our hands at heart center. We're gonna take the foot off and bring it back towards the center. And then slowly transition back into a warrior three, hands to heart center. And then slowly bring it back up, knee into your chest. And then one more tree pose. And then release the foot and bring it down. Shake it out and say, ah. If you need to, take the right foot back a little bit, come onto the top of your foot and stretch out the ankle. I love that afterwards. All right, come on back. We got another side to do. So feel nice and strong and steady on 2 feet before we transition to one. And practice that drawing in, bringing the hips, everything into the midline. Shift the weight over to your left foot, come onto your right toes. Draw the knee up, take the knee out. Ooh, and then find your tree pose, whether it's kickstand, calf, or upper thigh. Just work on taking the knee back and the left hip back. Keeping your hands at heart center, slowly release the foot, bring the knee back to the center. And then we're gonna slowly shift our weight forward, send the leg back, warrior three. Try to point the toes down towards the mat and press the heel towards the back of your mat. Slowly draw the knee back into the chest, standing straight up. And find another tree pose. And then release it down. Shake it out. Go ahead and do that little ankle stretch if you want to. All right. Okay. So we're gonna go into another tree, and then instead of warrior three, we're gonna step it back to a high lunge. So go ahead and draw, come onto the left toes, draw the left knee up, take the knee out to the side, and then find your tree pose. All right, slowly release the foot out. And then we're gonna step it back. You can hover through a warrior three or step directly back into a high lunge. And whenever you feel strong and steady, reach your arms up. Okay, we're gonna transition into a pyramid here. So let's frame our foot, coming into a brief runner's lunge, and then drag that right foot in as much as you need to get your right heel on the earth. and straighten through, I'm sorry, left heel on the earth and straighten through your right knee. So both legs should be straight and both heels should be down, toes pointing, usually at a 45-degree angle is what works. And then come up onto your fingertips for a halfway lift. While you're up, pull back through your right hip. So you're actually pulling your left hip forward and your right hip back, and try to keep that alignment. And then on your next exhale, sink down, stomach towards the thigh. All right, we are going to revolve this. So plant your left hand, bring your right hand to your hip. Turn your torso towards the right side of your mat, and then reach your right arm up towards the sky. All right, bring your right hand back to your hip. Bring your torso back to center. Take your left hand up a little bit higher on the mat. Come up off of your left toes, lift them up. And then we're going to take that revolved half moon, reaching your right arm back up. And bring your hand down, brief standing split, and bring your left toes down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Hands down to heart center. I have a list of poses that I've always despised, and revolved half moon is one of them, but you don't like something because you can't do it. And the more you do it, the more you do it, the more your body becomes accustomed to it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that feels really good. So I hope you're there at some point with me. All right, we'll do it on the other side. Shift the weight to your left foot, come onto your right toes. And let's bring that right knee up, take it out to the side, and find your tree pose. Keep pressing foot into leg, leg into foot. And then slowly release the foot, bringing the knee back to the center. And then take it back, maybe hover through a quick warrior three, or just take the right toes directly down to the mat behind you. Get your stability, and then whenever you're ready, reach your arms up into a high lunge. Beautiful. We'll transition to that pyramid, so go ahead and frame your foot. Use the hands of stability to get the right foot up as high as you need to get your heel down onto the earth and straighten through your left leg. So both legs are straight, both heels are down. Draw back through the left hip and forward with the right, come up onto your fingertips. Lots of length through the spine here, square off the hips, and then slowly release the stomach down towards the thigh. Okay, we'll revolve our pyramid here. Plant your right hand, take your left hand to your hip, turn your torso towards the long left side of your mat, and then reach that left hand up. Go ahead, take that hand back to the hip, leave it there, square off your torso, take your right hand up a little bit further on the mat, lift your right toes up, and then slowly turn that torso back towards the left side of your mat, and maybe reach that left hand up. And bring that hand down, quick standing split, stretch it out, and then forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's inhale, bring it all the way up, reach it to the sky, and hands down to your heart center. Grab a sip of water, if you need it, shake out the legs, shake out the ankles. I have the best version of the song with the children's choir. I'm gonna put it on next week. It's really, really cool. Sorry, I love music. All right, let's clear all that out with a vinyasa. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant those hands, find a plank. And we'll lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, bring your knees on down, finding a quick tabletop position here. And then bring your right leg out to the right side, toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Hands are still down in tabletop position. Wrists in line underneath your shoulders. Press down through your hands. Toes pointing out, so you're flexed. And then we're gonna lift that right leg. And toes down. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift the foot up. Bring it on down. 1 more time. And then bring them down. Crawl your hands back towards your knees and come on up, setting up for a gate pose. So we want our leg to be a nice straight line from our hip. My foot is a little bit forward from all that motion. So I'm gonna move my leg back wherever you need to be a nice straight line. And then bring your hands to heart center. Yeah, I never thought of that brand of torture, but Megan did that one week and I loved it. Inhale, reach it up. Bring your right hand down to your right leg and reach your left arm over your ear, getting a nice big side body stretch. You pull back to the left shoulder if it dips forward. Inhale, bring it up. Let's now on your exhale, take your left hand down to the earth, leave your right foot planted, reach your fingertips up, reach your hip up, modified side plank. And then bring it back up to center and hands down to your heart center. And then let's bring our hands down and crawl them back out and bring your knee in to that tabletop position. Okay, before we do the other side, we are gonna come into traditional side plank here. I like to do it from downward facing dog. You always have that option to do it with the knee down like we just did it from gate pose. So go ahead and tuck your toes, send your hips up, downward facing dog. I like it from here because your hips are already right where they need to be. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat and then spin to the nice edge of your right foot. You can always stack one foot in front of the other. You can always bring one foot forward for a kickstand or stack foot on top of foot. Keep raising the left hip up. Reach it on up. Beautiful. Swing it back around. Downward facing dog. And then come back down to your knees, tabletop position. All right, get your wrists in line underneath your shoulders. And then take your left foot out to the left, toes pointing towards the top of the mat. All right, you ready? Inhale, lift the left toes up. Nope, we gotta do this first. And bring it down. And inhale them up. Tap them down. 1 more time. And bring them down. And now walk your hands back to your knee. And come on up, hands to heart center. Get yourself all aligned, toes pointing towards the top of the mat, left hip back. When you're ready, inhale it up. We'll take gate pose the other side, left hand to the leg, reach the right arm over your ear. And bring it back up. And let's take the right hand down, leave your foot right where it is. Send your hips up as high as you can and reach it for the sky. And bring it back up. Hands down through your heart center. Let's bring the hands down, crawl them forward, bring the knee in. Send those knees back a couple inches and downward facing dog. Remembering lots of options here for your side plank. Knee down, kickstand, one foot in front of the other or stacked. Bring your left hand to the center of the mat. Come onto the nice edge of that left foot and find your side plank on the other side. Reaching up through the side body, up through the hips, up through the fingertips. And swing it back around and find your downward facing dog. And then come on down to your knees. And we're gonna sit in a quick Virasana. So go ahead and take your feet wide enough apart that your sit bones can get down through. If you can't connect to the earth here, if you have a block or a blanket or pillow, shove it under, or if you don't have one, bring your heels together and sit on your heels. So the most important thing is that you're connected to something. Okay, and just take a moment here to sit up nice and tall through the spine. Yeah, whatever feels good for your body and for your hips. This is one of those poses that you're still working hard, even though we're not moving. Gravity's doing the work for us. For those of you that are new to my class, it's very far and few between that I do a class about some good ab work. So let's get mentally prepared for that. And when you're ready, come on up out of your seated position, swing it around, and let's come onto our backs. So we are gonna do Supta Baddha Konasana sit up. So start with your knees bent and your feet stamped down on the earth. Bring your feet together so the inside edges touch, and then open up your knees to both sides for Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined butterfly pose. We're gonna take our hands behind our head, and it's important whenever we do any kind of ab work that we're not crunching our neck. So our hands are just there for support. They're not to lift us up, okay? So maybe even don't touch your head if you can't do that. Try to keep your elbows out. Take a breath in here, and on your exhale, crunch it up. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch it up. And we'll do them on our own here with your own breath. The goal is about 10 or so. And whenever you've had enough, go ahead and release. And just lay here in a quick Supta Baddha Konasana, letting gravity keep those hips nice and open, drawing them down. And then go ahead and take your hands to the outside of those knees, draw them back up so your feet are stamped down, knees are bent, and then cross at the ankles and rock and roll up to a seated position. See, that wasn't so bad. I was easy on you guys. I was harder on Terry in my level 1. I've been working you guys hard today though. Yeah, I was pretty mean on Saturday. All right, let's swing it around. What are we gonna do here? Okay, so let's come back into a downward facing dog. I figure with all these forearm planks I'm gonna keep making you guys do, it's a lot of ab work. So speaking of forearm planks, let's go ahead and shift your weight forward into a plank. And then we're gonna come down onto our right forearm and down onto our left for a forearm plank. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep lifting up through the thighs. And now we're gonna crawl forward into a dolphin pose. So press down through the palms, down through the elbows, start to elevate the hips and walk the feet in towards the elbows. It's really important to keep pressing through your forearms here and trying to draw the shoulder blades up towards your up towards the sky. And then walk it back into your forearm plank. And then press up through the right palm, up through the left, and bring it up, downward facing dog. So the problem is we have to do two sides. And so we came down to the forearm on the right arm, we kind of have to do it again for the left because I wouldn't want you guys to feel uneven. So this is all for you guys. Shift it forward plank. This time come down onto the left forearm, down onto the right. And then let's find that dolphin again. Walking it in as far as is comfortable for you, where you can still keep pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And then walk it back, forearm plank. And this time press up through the left palm, up through the right, bring it up, downward facing dog. And come on down your knees. Let's take a quick child's pose. Rest the shoulders, so bring your big toes together, knees spread wide, send your hips back. Give your shoulders a break. If you really need more of a shoulder break, you can take your knees a little closer together and bring your hands back towards your heels. Sometimes that feels really good because we are going to do a couple more side planks here. All right, let's bring it back up into a tabletop position. We'll do a couple more wrist stretches before we're back on our wrists for side planks. So let's start off by just turning your right fingertips in to face towards your right knee, and maybe your left fingertips in to face towards your knee. And if this is a good wrist stretch, stay here. If you want to take it further, just start to shift your weight back a little bit until it goes from feeling good to not. And then shift it forward and bring the hands back around so your fingertips are facing forward. So now what we do is we come onto the tops of our hands, so just one at a time. So come onto the top of your right hand, fingertips facing towards you, okay? And then just leave your left hand as it is. And if you sink your hips back, you should really feel this up the front. This is great if you're on the computer a lot. If you're on the computer a lot, you probably really feel this. And then shift your weight forward and release it. And we'll do the other side. So come onto the top of that left wrist, fingers pointed towards your knee, and then shift that weight back. See, I can tell I'm right-handed because I can go so far back on my left side without hardly even feeling it. Right side was like, what are you doing to me? All right, bring it up. And then let's sit back again, either in Virasana or on your heels. So we're gonna do side plank variations here. I'm gonna show you what it is we're going for. This is one of those, I call it choose your own adventure yoga. We just take it to whatever level works for you, whatever it is that you're working on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into, actually, do it from the side. So we're gonna come into that side plank. And if side plank is what you're working on, if this is a goal, stay here, right? Like if this is where you normally are, try it foot in front of the other. If this is where you normally are, try it stacked. If you're stacked, we're gonna try to raise the leg, okay? If this is comfortable, draw the knee in, grab the ankle, and we're gonna come into a tree side plank, okay? And so keep on pulling the hip up, and this is, all right, this is where we are. If you wanna take it even further, we leave the foot into tree, bring the hand down, shift the weight forward, and revolve the tree. And then release. So lots of options, no pressure to take the whole revolve, but if you can do one thing, try the next. And if you fall out of it, then you fall out of it and we do the next thing, all right? So downward facing dog, please. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat, come onto the nice edge of your right foot, and let's start by just finding your side plank. If you're comfortable in side plank, lift your left foot up. If you're comfortable here, draw your knee in towards your stomach, grab for the ankle, and find a tree. If you feel stable here, keep the tree, bring your left hand down, revolve your torso, leave your left hand planted, take your right hand to your hip, and reach it up. Come on down and step out, downward facing dog. Come down to your knees if you need to give your wrist a quick break. That was awesome, guys. That's a fun one. All right, well, we got another side to do. More fun to be had. Come on up into your downward facing dog. When you're ready, left hand to the center of the mat and find your variation of side plank on the left side. Maybe lift your right leg up. Once you feel good there, draw your knee in, grab the ankle. Find a tree. I keep letting my hips dip when I do that. Draw your hips up. If you'd like to revolve your tree, go for it. Keep on pressing foot into leg, leg into foot, but don't forget to bring your hips up towards the sky. And then downward facing dog. And come on down to the knees. Give yourself a break, grab a sip of water if you need it. I always joke around, if you pay attention to my classes, it's like foreshadowing. All right, what do we have time for here? Let's do pigeon prep. So come on back to your downward facing dog just to get us where we need to go. So from this downward facing dog, lift your right toes up, draw your right knee in, place it on the mat behind your right wrist, get your left ankle, right ankle as close to behind that left wrist as you can. So take the knee down, top of the foot on the mat, take a look back, make sure a nice straight line all the way from your hip. And then do whatever manual adjustments you need to get yourself wherever you're comfortable. The more parallel you are to the top of the mat, the more important it is to flex your foot. The more you're in towards here, you can go ahead and point your toe. Okay, so bring your right hand to your knee, left hand to your ankle. Sit up nice and tall here and then draw your right hip back. And then try to keep all that motion as you release this down, crawling forward, keeping all that lift through your right hip, and then press down evenly through your right and your left hip. So with each inhale, take your right hip back, and with each exhale, sink it down evenly with your left. Oops, that was my fault. I went to see what time it was and I hit the button. Bring it on up. I'm so sorry. All right, curl your back toes, lift your back knee, and then straighten through that right leg. And place it on down. We'll do the other side. All right, bring your left toes up, draw the left knee in, try to get it down behind the left wrist, ankle behind the right wrist. Tuck the toes, take a look back. Nice straight line. And then take whatever manual adjustments you need to do to get your body comfortable on this side. Left hand to the knee, right hand to the ankle, nice and tall here. Draw back to the left hip, and then crawl it forward. Again, just being really, really conscious to keep pulling back through the left hip and then down evenly through the left and the right. All right, slowly start to crawl it back up. Let's curl those toes, lift the knee, straighten back out. Bring the toes down, do whatever last movements you need here in downward facing dog to feel good, to round out your practice, to feel good in the hips, the hams. Then when you're ready, come on down to your knees and swing around into a seated position. All right. Okay, so let's do some twists. So let's bring our left leg out and bend through your right leg or right knee. So a nice, strong, steady left leg. So flex your toes towards your knee and press the thigh down into the earth and sit up really nice and tall. All right, we do a lot of side body stuff, so we'll see how loose we are here. So let's take our left hand down to the mat and reach your right arm up, and then bring the right arm to the inside of the leg towards the left toes, okay? And then either stay here, or if you want to start to go for a bind, we take this right arm, take your thumb down towards the earth, and then reach it towards the right. So thumb down, yeah, and then take your left arm out, thumb down, and then wrap your left hand behind your back, and then see if you can't wrap your right hand. If you can't reach it, if you have a strap, you can go ahead and grab one, or you can just reach for, just take one hand to your leg, one hand to your back, whatever feels good, just to get this. Wherever you are, try to inhale up, lengthen through the spine, and really twist your torso towards the left side of your mat, and that's gonna help you get this bind, the more twisted you are. So it's not just about shoulder opening, it's about side body opening here. And then go ahead and release that. And let's bring it back up. And then, so we can either leave your knee here, or if it's comfortable, take your right foot and cross it over. And then either stay here, or if you want to put a bend through your left knee and bring your left heel in towards your right glute. Wherever you can have both sit bones firmly planted down and sit up really nice and tall through the spine. This time we take our right hand down for stability. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Twist your torso to the right, and then bend your elbow and place it behind the knee. Every time you breathe in, try to sit up a little bit taller. And every time you exhale, try to twist just a little bit deeper, even if it's just a millimeter. And then release the twist. Come on back and unpretzel yourself. And we'll do the other side. So this time the right leg is out long, and you can bend through the left knee. Flex through the right foot. And so I didn't say this before, we're about a fist distance away from the leg is a good measurement here. Okay, so now right hand comes down for stability. Reach your left hand up, and then exhale, reach it forward to the inside of the knee towards the right toes. And again, you're welcome to stay here, or you can start to take the left hand away from the foot, turn so the left thumb faces down, and take the left hand to the left side of your mat. Right arm comes up, thumb points down, and then bend your elbow, take it around your back, and then bend through the left elbow, and see if you can't reach here. Or hold on to your leg, hold on whatever. And again, remember the twist here is key to getting that. So just keep on inhaling for length and exhaling your torso towards the right side of your mat. And go ahead and release the bind. Come on back up. Nice big stretch. All right, so now again, either stay here or take the left foot, cross it over. And again, either stay here or bend through the right knee and take the right heel towards your left hip. As long as you can have a connection to the earth. Sit up nice and tall. Left hand comes down for stability. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, twist the torso first to the left and then bend the elbow and place it behind the knee. Inhaling up and exhaling as you twist. And then release the bind or the twist and unpressel yourself here. And then let's come into, we have enough time to do a really good side body thing here. So take your legs wide as is comfortable for you. Move the flesh away. Let's do a manual rotation of those thighs back and apart. So you're sitting in front of your sit bones here, and then flex your toes so they're drawing back towards your knees. And as always, we sit up nice and tall, take the shoulder blades onto your back, and then bring your right hand to the center of the mat and take your left hand behind you and twist your torso so you're looking at your left toes. Beautiful, unpedicured left toes. And then leave your torso right where it is. Don't do anything other than take your right hand from the mat and take it to your right leg. And then still keeping your torso right where it is, inhale your left arm up. And on our exhale, we're gonna slide that right hand down our leg and reach your left arm over your ear towards your right toes. Maybe they'll get there, maybe they won't, but keep drawing back through the left shoulder. So this is all side body here. Nice, Terry. And then go ahead and turn your torso over that right knee and release your hands down to the earth, to your leg, to your foot, to your toes. Trying not to round through the back, so keep those shoulder blades drawing down onto your back. Keep on lengthening through the spine and just pressing down through the stomach towards the thigh. And then slowly crawl it back up and come back to the center. Then we'll do the other side. So left hand comes to center, right hand comes behind you. And we're all staring at those flexed right toes that are pointing straight towards our right knee. Take your left hand away from the mat and bring it to your left leg. And then inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, crawl the left hand down, right arm over the shoulder. Maybe all the way towards the toes. And then turn the torso to face over the left knee and release down into a fold. And crawl it back up. All right, so let's bring both legs out in front of you. Shake them out if you need to. Do whatever manual adjustments you need to do to feel comfortable here. And then just like when we were in that wide-legged fold, flex your feet so your toes are drawing towards your knees, and then press down through your thighs. Inhale, reach it up, and exhale, reach it forward towards the top of the mat. And then release the hands down wherever they are. There are no rules here. Just try not to round through the back. And then slowly crawl it back up. All right, let's come on down to our backs. Come down on your back, draw your knees in towards your chest. Let's take some hip circles here. Everything should feel nice and super loose and open now. And then take those circles to the other side. And draw those knees in. All right, keep a hold of the right knee. Let the left leg go long. I'm gonna keep the right knee drawing into the chest this time. Take your left hand, wrap it around your right knee. Let your right arm go long onto the mat. And then slowly twist that right knee over to the left, leaving your right shoulder blade pinned down to the earth. And bring it back up to center. And we'll switch it out. Bring the left knee up and let the right leg go long. Wrap that right hand around the knee. Left arm goes long and take the twist to the other side. And bring it back up to center. Pull both knees in. Okay, so we're gonna do supine cow face here. So if you need to take a look at me, go ahead. We're gonna bring our legs straight up to the sky, flexing to the feet, and then cross your right knee over your left. And then bend through both legs and reach for your shins. And then slide your hands down, and the goal is to get to your feet, okay? So your knee is crossed right over on top of your other knee. And then bend through them so knees are stacked right on top of each other. And then if you can only grab onto the shins, that's fine. Just pull them in towards the chest. You can keep sliding your hands down, maybe to the ankle, maybe to the feet. And then go ahead and release that. Bring both legs all the way up to the sky. And then we'll do it the other way. So take your left knee first, right on top of the right, and then bend through the knees. Bring your hands to the knees, slide them down the shins, maybe to the ankles, maybe to the feet. And the goal is to kind of pull towards you to get that big hip stretch. And then go ahead and release that. Bring both legs all the way up to the sky. So leave them elevated for a moment. We did lots of standing poses here. Sort of a quick legs up the wall, without the wall. And then we can take a happy baby here. So go ahead and bend through the knees. Bring your arms to the insides of your legs. Reach for the outsides of your feet. Draw the knees down towards the floor. If this isn't comfortable, you can always take one at a time, bringing both hands to one foot, taking the other foot down to the earth. What we want here is to try to get your tailbone down towards the earth with a more of a flat back. So however you need to access that to feel good. Maybe rock and roll from side to side. Some people like to straighten one leg or straighten both. And whenever you're ready, release the feet, bring them down to the earth. Let your legs go long on the mat. Palms to face up towards the sky. And sink into your final resting pose of Shavasana.
slowly start to bring awareness back through your body, back through your mind, by deepening your breath and making small movements in your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead, feet towards the center of the room, get a nice big stretch. And then gently draw your knees up into your stomach for one last hug in. Gently roll to one side using your arm as a pillow. And slowly make your way up to a seated position. Hands to heart center, eyes closed, sitting up nice and tall and proud. Thank you all so much for sharing your morning practice with all of us here today, whether it was in person or online. I hope that you feel good for doing something for yourself, for your body, for your spirit, for your mind. And I hope that whatever your intention was that you set at the beginning of class, you were able to meet it and take it with you off the mat. The light and love in me honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Cool. Thank you guys. Thanks. I think I forgot a sequence somewhere in there. I had about 5 more minutes than I wanted to, but it's okay. Let's see. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you, Susan. Good to see
All
you.
right.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see you
so
too.
much. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.